thanks for clicking in and having a look at the channel and the videos. This is sort of my first time doing anything like this, so you'll have to excuse a bit of dodgy and poor editing. I thought I'd drop this in at the start here, explain a little bit. Didn't really record heaps across the start of the trip and recorded a fair bit towards the end. Got a bit better, with recording ourselves and recording what we were doing and things. So the first will be a few photos and a little bit of voiceover and stuff. So I know that's not usually great for YouTube material, but hope you don't mind too much and bear with me while I figure out what I'm doing. If anybody out there that's watching has editing skills and things like that, and tips and tricks, would be awesome for any comments or help or anything like that. So yeah, basically first off, just a little bit about the trip. Obviously Cape York 2021, we left from Coffs Harbour, New South Wales on the 10th of July, returned around about the 15th of August. So yeah, we had about 5 weeks of time to do the Cape. You could definitely do it in less, had friends that did it in heaps less. We took our time. We've got, so me, I'm Tim, and I've got my wife Zoe, who you'll see in here too. James is my oldest young fella, and then Cooper, who's my youngest young fella. We went up to Cairns, caught up with our friends, Robbie and Kate. G'day guys, if you're watching, I hope you are. And their young one too. So we took about 4 days to get from here to Cairns, caught up with them, and then went from there. We got stuck into it and went up the Cape. So it was a ripper trip. I don't have it anymore, I'm waiting on a new car to arrive, but I had a 2018 Mazda BT50. It was 3.5 inch lift front, 2 inch lift rear, custom canopy setup, twin locked on 35s. I can do a bit of a, if people want, I can do a bit of a breakdown of that. That was a long-term build that I had, and now my brother's bought it, so it's gone to a good home. And then my mate Rob, he had a MN, I don't know what year, Triton, maybe a 2015 or something. Again, custom tray and canopy set up. He had an auto front locker in there, no rear locker, and he was on 33s. So I'm also auto and he's manual. So I probably had a bit of an easier time doing some of the tracks than he did, but we went there with the intention of just having a crack. So to start off with, what I'll do is I'll drop in a few photos and bits and pieces. So from Gympie, we stayed at the 6 Mile Creek rest area, which is a free spot just off the highway. Really, really good it's on the highway, there's a bit of noise, but it's close to town, it's safe, it's got lights, and it was easy to get to. We got in at like probably 1 a.m, 1:30 in the morning, so we were all pretty keen to sleep. And so that's what we did. I got a couple of photos of that. At Gympie, the wetlands, there's like a wetlands park area, really, really cool. There's big paths for the kids to go around, heaps of bird life, just a nice spot. We had a pretty slow morning there before taking off. Keep going, James. Keep going, you're alright. We went up towards Bundaberg. At Bundaberg, on the way to Bundaberg, unfortunately, I had a new rear bar made up on the caravan and it failed. It fell apart. And the whole thing came off. Luckily it didn't cause an accident behind us, and there was no traffic coming the other way. But basically what I had to do is I had to strap a spare to the A-frame of the caravan, or 2 spares to the A-frame of the caravan, which was a pain in the butt till I got to Cairns, because there was no way I could salvage the rear bar. It was cooked, and I didn't have a welder or anything like that. It was gone. So brand new rear bar gone off the caravan, which is unfortunate. We stayed at Kinkuna Camp on the Burrum coast, which is just south of Bundaberg. Beautiful spot. We had an epic, like a nice fire, had a little bit of a swim, went for a run up and down the beach the next morning, bit of exercise, had a beautiful sunrise. Well, it's one of the best sunrises that I've seen in that spot. It was really, really, really nice. Yeah, then we did some restocking in Bundaberg. Then from that point, we went up to Rockhampton. Rocky, yeah, it was just such a beautiful spot. I mean, we didn't really expect too much, but yeah. Look, we stayed at the what's it called, the Southside Holiday Village. Look, not really our cup of tea. Swimming in the pool was nice. But you know, it was fairly small campsites and we're used to bush camping, so look, it was a lovely clean amenities and everything like that, nothing wrong with it, but yeah, it had fairly small sites and yeah, not really for us, but we had to stay somewhere, and we stayed there. The good thing about that spot is that it was just down the road from the Rockhampton Zoo, which is a free attraction, and it's just awesome. There's just animals sometimes you don't get at a normal zoo, all at the Rocky Zoo there, and it's all free. So we had some work to do that morning, so I took the boys and I checked out the zoo, had a great time. Then you know, saw some long lost relatives, had a bit of a laugh about that, and then yeah, we
and laugh off each other.
They're picking the ticks out of each other's armpits. Not that different from you and me. Prepped up a pulled pork and got that in the travel buddy in the back of the ute. So basically I hit it with onion powder, garlic powder, barbecue sauce, beer, bit of soy sauce, salt and pepper. Put it in a oven bag, put that in the tray, put the whole lot in the travel buddy. I think I set it to 120 and it was in there for like 5 hours by the time we pulled up to camp and ate, and it just pulled beautifully. It was a really nice meal, that one, with just some roast up veggies and stuff like that. We ended up eating that the next night because we stayed at the Cuttable Hotel that night. And so the Cuttable Hotel, just a hotel pub on the side of the highway, run by really, really nice people. Camp out the back, cold beers, good feed. We went and sat out the front, watching the road trains go past, had a chat with a few of the locals, and yeah, had some beers and a good feed. It was a really nice spot to be. Nice sunrise, nice quiet campsite out the back of it. It's not a huge campsite, but yeah, it did fill up fairly quickly. From there, the next day, basically that day after our fill up, we didn't do too much. We went to the town of Bowen, which is actually one of our favourite towns on the East Coast. When we got married, we went there. We ended up there on our honeymoon. So basically what we did, we bought an old caravan and restored it. And then we just decided to drive north. We hadn't been further north than Bundaberg at that point. And so we got up to Bowen, and yeah, we just thought, how good's this? It was just such a beautiful place. We still think it's one of the most beautiful little towns we've been to, one of our favourite places. So we sort of spent the day hanging out around Bowen, walking around, went for a swim, got some ice cream, just hung out and enjoyed the sunshine. We did have to keep going which is where we went to our next spot.
Does it get any more spectacular than that? Bowen. I can see why we love this place so much. Soon, buddy, we'll go for some after ice creams. Zoe's just grabbing us some ice creams, and we'll swim and then back to the car. And we'll continue on north, but Jesus, is nice. Ridiculous. Oh, Mum's just up there. Let's go, boys. Mum's got ice creams for us. Vic. Come on. Come on, Koopy. This awesome little spot. Couple of chairs under the shade of just like these epic fig trees. Got it all to ourselves. I don't think it gets any better than that. Just incredible. What do you reckon, dear?
From Bowen, we went to a spot just north of Townsville called Tumalla, I think it's Tumalla Beach Rest Area. So there, we didn't really do too much. We got in fairly late, had our easy leftover dinner with a bit of vegetables. Then we went for a bit of a walk, had a look, saw a croc on the creek bank. I tried to catch some barramundi, but didn't have much luck, which was a bit of a theme for the trip. I caught fish, but not barramundi until the very end, but we'll see that in a later episode. So there was heaps of mozzies and stuff. Look, it was all right for a free rest area. It was pretty busy. There was a good playground there, but there was also a crap load of ants. So what do? It was a spot to sleep. The good part is that it's just short of a spot called Crystal Creek. So there's probably going to get this around the wrong way. Big Crystal Creek at the bottom and Little Crystal Creek at the top. So you can drive up the mountain and go to Little Crystal Creek. We went to Big Crystal Creek on our way north. There's like big rock pools, beautiful swimming, all these freshwater like tropical rainforest fish, jungle perch and things like that. Really nice. Natural water slides on rocks. Really, really good spot. The boys were a bit tired at that stage. On that day, they didn't sleep well the night before, so they weren't stoked. I'll put it in our photo where you can see that the level of stoke just isn't there for them, but we really enjoyed it. And yeah, so that was a really, really nice.
So we've just pulled up a little bit ago, and we had some lunch at this beautiful little spot called Cardwell. Oh, just because I'm lazy, I don't want to get out. Zoe's just getting coffees and stuff, but it's like this whole strip along here, little cafes and bits and pieces, and it's just like absolute waterfront looking out over islands and stuff like that. It's just beautiful. It's yeah, really nice spot to stop for lunch. Plenty of room for caravans and campers and things like that. So yeah, definitely a good little spot between Cairns and Townsville to stop for a bit of a recharge, stretch the legs and a bit of a feed. So yeah, we'll probably see you at Cairns at this stage.
So that rounds up the first leg of our trip. Our next episode I'll do a bit on Cairns and our first leg basically from Cairns. You're really starting to get into Cape York, so we started to do some fishing and a bit more fun around places like Cooktown, and finally got onto the dirt and things like that. So it was really good. Look, I'd love it if you left a comment, like, subscribe, all that usual stuff that YouTubers and stuff do. This is sort of my first time doing it, as I said. Give me any hints, tips, anything that you'd like to see some more of, anything that you would like to see some less of, like me saying, I know I do that way too much and I am working on it. I was going to edit some out of it, but I just don't really have that skill level yet, so I'll get there, I'm sure. So yeah, look, if you'd like to see or hear anything about you know, my BT50 or my mate's Triton or his camper setup or my caravan setup, or you know what I'm going to next, I'm going to do a series on my next build, which is going to be a 200 series, which I'm really excited about. I'd love to yeah, hear any feedback or any comments or anything that you've got. I'm sure a whole bunch of my mates are going to jump up in here and hang a bunch of shit on me anyway. So anyway, I'll see you in the next episode, which I'm hoping I can get out in the next 2 weeks or so. See you then.